Dopamine. Dopamine. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it. Dopamine. Dopamine. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it.
Back on the tail of Gunnar. He's looking to make an off-take already. Down the inside he goes.
Is he gonna go? He's gonna do it!
Oh, with Hackett now up into P9. Down the inside he goes. Another aggressive move on the other Mercedes driver. Is he gonna make a mistake? Doesn't look like.
Closing. Problem is, if he goes.
Oh, that's nice for Broad Adam, moving up to P7.
Dopamine.
As he's currently looking to gain about 3 or 4 points. Oh, and is Nellboy going to go for it down the inside of Waza? Seems like he is, and he makes up that position. Beautiful overtake by Nellboy.
12 races, multiple divisions, 20 drivers.
All that sound good? Then why not join us now ahead of the new season? The link to our Discord will be in the description, and we hope to see you on track with us.
Delta T Racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DTR. I am DSummers90. I am your commentator for this evening, and welcome to the Jeddah Corniche F1 circuit in Saudi Arabia. Let's get ourselves all set up for this qualifying session. I believe we have at least one car due to come out to join us during the session here, and that should be Brams in the Ferrari. We currently have M. Benny out on his first outlap of this evening. So while he goes round on his outlap, let's bring up the driver's standings. As you can see here, Benny won last race. A very hard-fought race for all drivers involved last week. Only one DNF, and that was Havoc Connor. He lost control of the car on the fast chicane in Australia and glided neatly into the wall, losing a wheel. So that was unfortunate for him. But as we can see, we've got Benny in first in the drivers. Then he is followed by Theo, our debutant last week. Very good race from Theo on his first time out. Masked Ranger showing that he is podium worthy. In third, followed by Grelis, then Bogarovsky. So let's hope that we have just as a good race this time out. Let's go on board with Benny for his first run. Heavy braking into turns 1 and 2 around the Jeddah Corniche. Very awkward first 2 corners. Hard on the accelerator down into turn 4. Got to be very careful of the inside wall there. Many a time I have lost a wheel there, and he's been blocked by a kick Sauber. Which Sauber was that? That was Skipper. Benny is not going to be best pleased about that. That is going to be brought up to the stewards, no doubt. We also have Mars Ranger, who was, I believe, the second driver out to start a fast run. Benny gets well out of the way of him, having had to abort his due to a kick Sauber getting in the way. Is the Sauber going to get in the way of the McLaren here as well? Very close. That I'm not sure Skipper is paying attention to what is coming up behind him here. This is looking very good for Mars Ranger here. Of course, he is the first one to go fast around Sector 2, so he's got a purple Sector 2 on the board. Now, into one of the heavier braking zones. If you get this wrong, you will go out into the wall on exit. Keeps it nice, neat and tidy. And he invalidates on... Oh, that was stupid. Yes, you want to get as close to that white line as humanly possible, but you don't want to cross it, and Mars Ranger has done so. Now it's Moncho's turn. Let's see where he puts it. A 129.1 onto pole position for his first run. Sport Mad is now starting a lap. Skipper is starting a lap. We've got NLD Rush coming up to finish his first run. Sorry, Ricker, I missed yours. A 29.3 and a 29.103 from NLD Rush. Closely followed by Havoc Connor with a 29.784. Who have we got coming up now? Okay, so that is people starting their laps. Let's have a look. We have got Theo on the final run here, down to the line. Does not invalidate on the purple and goes pole with a 27.936. Of course, these are only banker laps for the drivers right now. As we all know, these drivers can go considerably faster than this. As we have got the impediment man going to finish his fast lap. A 130.4. And Magic Poop Cannon puts it on the front row with a 28.397. So Theo, the only man in the 27s, he absolutely blasted round this circuit. We now have an Alpine, I believe it's Cavolis on his outlap. Let us have a look. We have the Williams of Grelis following Stewart, so we'll go on with Stewart here, as he will cross the line before Grelis. He puts it on P3. Grelis just doing a courtesy of going around the circuit to put a time on the board. Not really taking it seriously. He is just doing a last to first challenge, more than likely, knowing him. So let's go on with Cavolis as he gets himself a purple Sector 1. Long looping left-hander into another difficult corner here, the right-left chicane. You don't want to touch the wall on the inside of the right-hander, as it will invalidate your run completely. It's coming up behind a kick Sauber, who does get out of the way this time. Now into the DRS zone. Let's see where Cavolis can pop himself provisionally on these first early runs. Comes across the line and he puts it on second place. 28.319. So Kavolis and Poop Cannon in the same ballpark along with Stewart. And of course, none of these drivers are truly messing around except for Grelis, who is just having a little bit of fun after winning the championship last season. Now we've got Bogorovsky coming around to finish his first flying lap. Now he's a 29.3, puts him 7th. Also have Tom Putty, who has invalidated, unfortunately. Theo has also invalidated his second run. Benny jumps up to second place with a 28.195. Starting to show his true pace. This is his technically his first clean fast lap, purely for the fact that he was impeded on his first attempt. Now he'll want to go back around to the pits, strap on some fresh rubber, refuel, and wait until the very last second to set his fastest lap. Let us have a look. So we've got both McLarens are out now. So we will sit with Moncho here. Running the standard papaya from the 2025 season. Whereas I believe Mars Ranger is running the special chrome livery that they decided to run. There's a purple first sector for Moncho. Let's see if he is able to gain even more time through sectors 2 and 3, where he has a clean run ahead of him. No cars until the very last part of sector 3 in front of him. So he should be able to put the pedal to the metal and get a decent time through here. He is 8 tenths up on his previous time. He is absolutely booking it around here. He knows he can go faster. Coming to the final corner now. Neatly done. Takes a very straight trajectory out of there and puts it on second place. 28.176. A good lap from Moncho. Seems he quite enjoys the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Let's go on with Mars Ranger as he comes around to finish his lap in the chrome livery. And he goes pole with a 27.698. 3 tenths faster than Theo. That's an impressive speed to do around here. I'm not the biggest fan of this circuit, mainly because the walls are too damn close. I believe the next person to finish a run will be NLD Rush in the Kick Sauber. I could be wrong, actually. No, it looks like the cars that are ahead of him are the Williams of Grelis on an outlap and the finished run of Moncho ahead of him. NLD Rush taking... Oh, a little bit of a slide coming through the fast chicane. Put him off a little bit. I didn't catch the timing split before that chicane, unfortunately. It does look rather quick apart from that one mistake. He is now below 20% battery. Comes up to the line. Goes 4 tenths quicker, but it's not enough to improve his position. And Poop Cannon has also ended up invalidating his run. That is unfortunate. We now have Havoc Connor starting his lap. Let's have a look at Little wide. Taps the wall there by the look of it. I think this is just the way he wants it to be right now. I'm not sure if he's using his VR or not. It turned out last week he was not using VR. Oh, and that's an invalidation from Grelis. That was not quite the line he wanted to take, but it's easily done around this circuit. So let's see who is on a lap. We have got Havoc Connor is now pushing. He wants to be in that top 10 for the start of the race. Looked like he brushed the wall there. That might have been a trick of the eye. A purple middle sector from Havoc Connor. He is absolutely pushing the car to its limits. He's got Mercedes in front of him here. Will they be out of the way? Foy. That was quite lucky for Havoc Connor there. Gets it lined up, opens the DRS, punching the ERS. Goes up to 9th with a 29.252. Not a bad lap from Connor there, considering this is Division 1. Now we've got Sportmad. We know from last season Sportmad can be very, very quick, but he also had a couple of incidents that marred him. Wow. A 27.414. That is not bad for your first lap in quali. Great lap. So, let's see. Skipper has invalidated his lap, so we'll stay on with Tom Putty. It looks like Mars Ranger and Magic Poop Cannon are coming out for their final runs. Ricker has finally joined us. Or joined back, maybe? Yeah, he's joined back. I didn't even notice he had left. Purple second sector for Tom Putty. It looked like it was a personal fastest lap instead of session fastest sector even. Let's see where Tom can put his Mercedes on the grid. Goes up to 13th out of 15. Not a bad lap considering I believe he invalidated the first one. Skipper is going again. Let's see. I don't think he's going to have the fuel to go to the end there. I can't quite tell. But what will tell me is this for a split second. Yep, he is on low fuel. The red flashing gauge at the bottom there. So it looks like he is not going to be able to make the end of the lap. Not at full speed, at least. Have Bogorovsky ahead of him, though, on track. Let's see if Bog can get himself into the top 5. I know that's where he would really want to put himself. Up to P10. Half a second faster and only up 1 position. That's unfortunate for the Red Bull driver. Oh, a big wobble from Magic Poop Cannon. I'm glad I went to him for that. That's put him off for this lap. Let us have a look. So, we have got a parade of people starting now. We'll go on with Mars Ranger for the time being. See if he can beat that 27.4 set by Sportman. Now, I know for sure that I am not going to be anywhere near this fast for tomorrow night. Hello, Johnny. Oh, a big slide from Mars Ranger through the final corner, and he abandons the run. as he knows that he was going slower than he wanted to through there. Good. Ricker gets himself onto a lap before the time runs out. That is good news for him, considering he left the session. Grelis doing Grelis things. Okay, let's see who is out there first. It is Stuart. So Sport Mad, Masked Ranger, NLD Rush and Skipper have all finished. Stuart has invalidated his lap, so that is where he will be starting for this evening's race. Tom Putty is finishing a in lap, I believe. It might be a fast lap, we'll keep an eye. He does go faster, he pushes Havoc Connor down. Who is next? It will be Theo next across the line. Closely followed by Moncho. Theo puts himself in P2. Where does Moncho go? Moncho improves, but not enough to change position. Who is next? It is going to be Cavolis. Cavolis puts himself up into P4 for now. Benny, where is he going? Up into P5. That's unfortunate for the Scotsman. Would have expected him to start on the front row, to be brutally honest. Poop Cannon goes up to P6. Our last two runners are Havoc Connor and Grelis. They will come across the line together here. Let's see where Connor can put himself up to P12. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sport Mad takes pole position. Theo lines up next to him. Row 2 is Masked Ranger and Cavolis. Row 3 is Benny and Magic Poop Cannon. Row 4 is Moncho and Stuart. Row 5 is NLD Rush and Barry Bogorovsky. Row 6 is Ricker and Connor. Row 7 is Tom Putty and Skipper. And as he did last week, it is a last to first challenge for Grelis. This is going to be a challenge for him, especially around here where the walls are so damn close. So, for those of you watching later on, J5 Gaming has put into the chat, Sport Mad to cause a safety car, Connor to DNF, Bog to cheese a good result. Now, I'm not going to say what I think, because I don't want to offend anyone, but Johnny doesn't mind either which way. So now, the drivers are sorting out their tyre strategies and their fuel amounts. I'm going to have to poke and prod at the likes of Benny and Connor later on for tomorrow's race, along with doing a fair amount of practice myself for tomorrow's race, because I haven't done Jeddah in quite a while. So Johnny, why are you not reserving into Division 1 tonight? Let's see what he says to this. He's got to go, so give him an out of 3 later. If I remember Johnny, I will, don't worry. So, let's get the lap data up. We will also have a quick look at the tyres as they come around. So, the majority of the field on the mediums, as would be expected. Majority of drivers will likely be doing a one stop if they can make their mediums last. If not, they will be probably doing a medium hard. Magic Poop Cannon and Tom Putty are the only two starting on the hard tyre, so they will be looking to go into a into the race further than all the rest before their first pit stop. I completely forgot, Johnny, that you are in you're in Fuerteventura on holiday. I completely forgot that fact. I hope the weather is treating you nice for this week. Okay, let's take away the tyre graphic and all the other graphics there as we come around into sector 3 for our formation lap here. I don't know why the game tells you to do a 2-stop and it's a medium hard. You would want to do 2 stints on the faster tyre. If I do apologise for coughing. Oh, D-Rush and Bogorovsky have come together and are now sat on the grid cooling their tyres. The absolute numpties. So we will go on board with Mars Ranger from P3 to see how his start goes. So we will sit on board with the McLaren man. Just waiting for Grelis to line up now. There we go. Everyone who took a grid box took it correctly. 3 red lights, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. A good start from the front 3 by the look of it. No contact as of yet. There's a bit of shoving going on behind. It seems everyone got away with it. Mars Ranger gets himself up into P2 ahead of Theo. Let's have a look a little bit further back, side by side from Stewart and Moncho. And Poop Cannon taking advantage of Moncho's wide moment there through sector 1. When we come to the end of this lap, I will have a look at position changes because there was a lot that happened at the back as they went through turns 1 and 2. There we go. Possible race strategies. Medium, hard. The game obviously hard. A little bit of a slide from Benny there. He will want to calm that rear end down and push forward if he can. Grelis is already up to 10th place. It's not even the end of the first lap yet. Oh my word, Grelis almost puts it in the wall. Luckily D-Rush did not try to avoid and just went around him. Ricker into the pits on the first lap. Did he have damage? Let's have a look at position changes. So Stewart is up 2, Poop Cannon and Moncho are both down 1, Bog is up 1, Grelis is up 4 positions, Tom Putty is up 1. So it looks like Ricker had himself a little bit of damage there. I honestly didn't see them change the wing because I'm blind and I was looking at the position changes like a moron. I do apologise. So Sportmad is still leading with Mars Ranger in close proximity along with Theo, but the front 3 have broken away from Kavolis. They are a second and a half ahead of the Alpine driver. And Benny just sweeps past him like there was nothing there. Makes quick work of the Alpine. Grelis gets himself back past NLD Rush further back as well and gets a purple sector 2 for it as well. Magic Poop Cannon is the first man to get a penalty this evening. It's a 3 second for track limits by the look of it. Havoc Connor gets himself past Tom Putty under DRS. Fastest lap for Masked Ranger as it stands right now. Benny will be looking to close this gap up as quickly as he possibly can. Havoc Connor and Tom Putty are just swapping positions back here. Hopefully they're not fighting too hard because they are 3 seconds behind NLD Rush. Poop Cannon is closing up to the back of Stewart, but Stewart is also closing up. Oh, wow. Okay, Stewart had a wide moment, whether that was due to his teammate through Sector 1, I don't know. But this has brought Magic Poop Cannon right into the mix for that fight for 5th. Benny has broken away from the group slightly. He is now a second and a half ahead of Cavolis. Just about 1 second behind the trio up in front. Now, this man here, I know, enjoys the Jeddah circuit. He is very quick around here. Has been that way in previous seasons. And has had some runaway wins around this circuit in the past. As Magic Poop Cannon tries to stick the nose up the inside. Doesn't quite come off for him. Masked Ranger going for the lead of the race here into turn 1. Cleanly done by the two of them, trying to avoid each other as best as possible. Looked like Sportmad did try to go for the switchback there. It didn't quite come off for him. We've got Theo so close behind these guys in this sector. It is really difficult to follow in Sector 1. And he is handling it like it's absolutely nothing. Although, the Red Bull man of M. Benny has now closed up the gap. He is within that 1 second margin for the DRS. There is the detection point. Here comes the activation. He is well within the DRS and is just going to keep closing up on the back of this trio up front. We will have a quartet instead of a trio. And that looks like Cavolis and Poop Cannon came together. Oh my word, Grelis. That is not how you want to touch the wall there. You don't want to touch it at all, to be fair. Now Poop Cannon and Bogorovsky are fighting it out after Poop Cannon had a coming together with Cavolis going through one of the faster chicanes on the circuit. Bogorovsky gets past Poop Cannon. Poop Cannon does have damage on that left end plate. He has got no end plate on the left side of his front wing there. That is unfortunate for the harsh driver. Around here, you need all of the downforce you can get for the twisty sections. Sportmad gets himself past Masked Ranger. Masked Ranger has had an issue and looks like he missed a corner or two because Theo also got through when Sportmad did. D-Rush is now past Poop Cannon as well. Is he going to have the drive out of this corner? Oh, he actually rode the wall there a little bit and loses the position back. Benny has dropped out of the DRS again, but he is using DRS, so it must have been on the exit of the corner before the detection. He lost it. Grelis now attacking Moncho as they come up to the DRS zone. Cavolis gets past his own teammate. Very well defended from Moncho there. Just kept the inside line, did not let Grelis get the sneaky pass. Grelis is sniffing that McLaren's exhaust right now. Gets himself up the inside. Little bit of wheel banging. and gets the move done with a lovely little switch back through turns 1 and 2. Now Grelis is going to come up to the Alpines, who could cause him a bit more of a problem. Let's see what the reigning champion can do as we see both Bogorovsky and NLD Rush go off wide in the background. Magic Poop Cannon gets himself a 3-second time penalty. But he does get himself past D-Rush. I wonder if... Yeah, there we go. D-Rush is round. Flicks it around. He is clear of Ricker by 18 seconds, so that is all good and dandy. So Stewart has 5, nearly 6 seconds to make up on the drivers ahead. And I think the only way he will be able to do that is if the drivers ahead go for a 2-stop, or if there is a safety car. But now we have Grelis closing up on Stewart's teammate, Kavolis. Tries to block Grelis off, does so successfully, keeps both of the Alpines ahead. They are working together to make a rolling roadblock against the Williams driver. A little bit sneaky from the Alpine boys, but it's working for them so far. I know Grelis is going to be rather frustrated if this continues, though. And Stewart gets himself a 3-second time penalty. That's unfortunate. D-Rush has come into the pits to fit himself a new front wing. Oh, we're only on lap 7. So we are expecting, if you are planning a 1-stop, you would be thinking about pitting around lap 10 or 11. If you're doing a 2-stop, the earlier you stop now, the better. Because you can get your long stint out of the way and done and dusted. The overspeed Grelis has on the Alpines there. Oh, Grelis almost put into the wall by Stewart. Was not expecting him to be on the outside there in the DRS zone. And Grelis finally gets himself past both of the Alpine drivers. He will be happy with that, but he has lost another 2 seconds while being behind the Alpine pair. So last to first might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe last to podium? But we will have to wait and see. Let's go back up with the quartet up at the front. Currently Sportmad leading the way, with Theo following closely behind, and Benny in 3rd place. Masked Ranger in 4th. Benny made a mistake, and that's let Masked Ranger come through. That was not what Benny wanted to do, unless that was a clever ploy for DRS, but it doesn't seem to have helped either of them at all, as they are now both out of the DRS of the cars ahead, although Benny will have the DRS on Masked Ranger. Now these two are going to have to work together to catch back up into the DRS of Theo. Sportmad is absolutely flying right now as Grelis is being attacked by Stewart. Then he does get himself past Masked Ranger going into turn 1. Grelis and Stewart fighting it out again for this 5th place. And all of this is being done in front of Kavolis, Moncho and Bogorovsky. They are all within, if there is an incident between Stewart and Grelis, The cars behind could well be caught up, much like the Alpine at Australia last, or not the Alpine, sorry, it was Miyagi in the V car getting spun and a few cars getting damaged. Havoc Connor has got himself a 3-second time penalty. That is unfortunate. But it's going to happen when you are following another car. So he is following Tom Putty. He is in the dirty air. Sector 1 is disgusting to drive through when you are following another driver. Benny seems to be very much oversteering into a couple of these chicanes. It's causing him some issues when it comes to fighting Masked Ranger here. It just looks like he's, from our end, it looks like he's putting in too much of an input. There, on the exit, you could see it, he was sliding. So I think under acceleration, he's hitting his throttle a bit too hard, a bit too quickly. But then again, it could just be that he's having issues with his controller. We don't know. He might not have vibration again. I know that happened to him last season at Baku. He did practically the entire race with no vibration until he pitted late in the race. He has now dropped off the back of Masked Ranger. I don't think he is having fun out there. It looks like he has lost the vibration. Stewart gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Oh, Stewart clips the inside wall there. I don't know if anyone else caught that on screen. But Stewart has now pitted for the first time. So he came in at the end of lap 9 to try and get the undercut on the cars ahead of him. Kavolis has dropped off completely from Grelis here. So it is now a 3-way fight for 6th place, and Skipper has retired from the session. Where was Skipper? That is a virtual safety car by the look of it. And that looks to be, it was turn 4. The front runners are now coming in. Oh, what? What happened there? What? Okay, the game is going insane. I have proof that the game is absolutely insane. It's on the stream. It's recorded. That was very, very weird. All of the drivers who haven't pitted already are coming in, except for Tom Putty, and I believe Poop Cannon came in earlier. So Tom Putty is the only man who has stayed out because he is on the hard tyres. He will come in later on. So this is a long virtual safety car by the look of things. Long enough for a fair amount of the drivers to get their tyres changed. Let's have a look and see. Are any of the boards going to show me anything? And we are green. Connor, no, gets himself a speeding under the VSC. That's a drive-through for Connor. Yet again, we are going to see Connor get all of his penalty gremlins out this evening. Moncho also got himself a drive-through penalty. So, yeah, it's not looking to be going well for a couple of the drivers out there. That's unfortunate. We will have a look at the tyres. Everyone except for Poop Cannon is now on the hard tyres. All of these drivers are now going to the end of the race on this compound, except for Poop Cannon, who will be pitting again. Tom Putty just blazed past by Grelis there. Fresh hard tyres versus 11 lap old hard tyres. It's easy to see the disparity there as Masked Ranger gets himself up into P2. Although Masked Ranger and Theo have lost Last time to the front runner of Sportman. He is just controlling the pace of this race right now. It is his race to lose. Moncho and Havoc Connor both come in to serve their drive-thrus now. Oh, there's a three-way fight here between Rick and Moncho and NLD Rush after the drive-through penalties have been served. Let's go back on with Theo and Mars Ranger as they are rather close together at the front of the field here. Although, saying that, Stuart has now caught up to Tom, who is on the older hard tyres. Oh, no. That did not look good for Cavolis. That was very, very close for Cavolis going into the wall there. Tom had a bit of a slide, caused him to violently shoot off in the opposite direction of where he wanted to be going, and almost put Cavolis into the wall. Wouldn't have been Tom's fault, purely for the fact that I believe the downforce disengaged and then re-engaged. Oh my word. Well, Tom, that was your fault. That's all I can say about that. That will likely go to the stewards. We can have a look at that, and I can even have a word with the stewards and tell them about the incident there. Poop Cannon is running rather well on the mediums right now. Just quite happy to carry on as his race hasn't gone to plan with his 6 seconds of penalties and having to pit twice now. Ricker was close to the back of Moncho but has now lost time. He's still within the DRS, but he has been a little bit slower than the McLaren. So we will go on with Theo, who is doing what he can to stay with Mars Ranger right now. They also have Benny trying to close up behind as well. Relis setting the fastest lap of 1:30.476. It's not the quickest lap around here, but it's, considering how close the walls are, to be in the 1:30 30s or below that at any point during the race, you are absolutely flying. And Mars Ranger gets himself a 3-second penalty. I think he's just shot himself in the foot for a podium position. Unless something happens to the cars behind him. He did so well last week, it's unfortunate to see that he has got himself a penalty. I am pretty sure I will be on the penalty board tomorrow. Tom Putty gets himself a 3-second time penalty out of sympathy for Mars Ranger. Look at it. Oh, Tom Putty is out. At the same corner as Skipper. Turn 4, that inside... I do apologise. The inside wall of turn 4 is a deadly one. Now, if I were Poop Cannon and I had a second set of hard tyres to run, I would probably stick them on now and run to the end of the race. You've got 10 laps to go after this lap. That is how my brain works. Where is Poop Cannon? He is not pitting, he's staying out on the mediums. And Mars Ranger gets himself a drive-through. He is well and truly shot himself in the foot now. He is going to be well off of the podium. He is probably going to come out around the Alpines of Stewart and Cavolis. Stewart gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look at these penalties now. So Mars Ranger has a 3-second, but also a drive-through penalty. We then have Stewart, who is collecting penalties for fun now. He is on 9 seconds. We've got Magic Poop Cannon on 6 seconds, and we've got Havoc Connor on 3 seconds. Let's have a look at the position changes right now. Grelis is up 10 positions. Remember, he started on the back of the grid at the start of this race. He deliberately put in a slow qualifying time and is doing last to first challenges as Mars Ranger now comes into the pits to serve his drive-through. Let's see where Stewart and Cavolis are. You can see both of them here on this shot. Is Mars Ranger going to be able to come out ahead of these two drivers? Just about. So if he manages to stay where he is or pull a gap to Stewart from this point and not gain any more penalties, this will be his finishing position of 5th. Now everyone is pretty much spread out except for Magic Poop Cannon and Barry Bogorovsky. So we will keep an eye on these two. I will also keep an eye on M. Benny on the timing board, just to see if he manages to get himself nice and close to the back of the Aston Martin ahead of him. Oh, I really should have got myself a drink before I started streaming. Nice can of Thatcher's Blood Orange would have been nice right now. So Benny is now closing in on the back of the Aston Martin of Theo. They're still 2.5 seconds behind Sportmad, though. Sportmad has proved his pace here. As long as he can stay out of trouble and not cause any issues, he can be one of the faster drivers in this grid. Is Benny going to be able to get close enough to make a move stick before the end of the lap? Loses a bit of time through Sector 1, but gains it back here. Evidently burning some of his ERS to get back to where he was. Must have been a slight miscalculation on his Sector 1 corners. Turning a bit too much there. You can see there was a correction and a slide from Benny there. It's losing him time, and now I know he is on 0 traction. I believe he is also on ABS off as well. So to be able to do this all on controller, he is a truly impressive driver. He's very, very quick in the field. It boggles my mind because I also use controller, but I need all of the assists because I am absolutely useless otherwise. And Benny now gets the move done into turn. Nice and clean, room given by Theo. He did not want to fight it too hard. He knows that forcing a fight at this stage would just lose them more time to Sportmad. Talking of which, Sportmad is now 3.5 seconds ahead. So on that lap, they lost a second to the man out in front. We now have Stewart closing up on his teammates. I think they swapped positions at the beginning of this lap. So I think Stewart is happy enough to sit behind his teammate at this point. Get me off of this camera, please. Thank you. And Connor speeds into the pit lane. He just wants to outdo Stewart for penalties, I swear. That's all it is. He wants to get more penalties than Stewart. But no, I think this pit lane can be a bit like the pit lane at Brazil, where it doesn't tell you to slow down until it's too late. And you will overspeed across that line, unfortunately. You have to be vigilant. Of course, you will lose time doing so, but it's worth doing it because you'll get a penalty otherwise. So is Stewart going to be close enough now to pass his teammate into turn one and create more of a gap to Bogorovsky behind? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get past. No, he's not along with his teammate yet. He'll go back on with Theo, who is following Benny as closely as possible, without touching, of course. We've got 6 laps to go after the end of this lap. So, we're getting to the final stages of this race. Sportmad has been absolutely stellar at this circuit tonight. I don't know if there were any incidents that he was involved in. If there were, I didn't catch them. I'm pretty sure people will put them into the reports if there are, but apart from the 2 DNFs, I haven't really seen too much wrong going on throughout the field. The field have been very well behaved, and we can see Benny and Theo in the background there. Oh, and we can also see Grelis in the background. He's slowly but surely clawing his way back up to the podium positions. But we have to remember, he might well be the champion from last season, but he is a reserve this season. So if he reserves all of the races and wins all of the races, it's going to be unprecedented, because I don't believe we've had a reserve win a championship. I will have to double check with Bogorovsky and Nelboy about that, but we will have to wait and see. But I do have a high level of respect for the drivers who are currently out on the track, including the 2 who have DNF. Yes, there are mistakes made, but each one of these drivers tries to race to the best of their ability every week. Everyone tries to make it fun, make it entertaining, and keep it clean at the same time. Of course, we have a couple of drivers from a few seasons back who wanted to make it fun, but in a different way. Namely Wazza, who would like to make it fun on lap 1, turn 1. Stewart grabs himself another penalty. He is now on 12 seconds. But Stewart, if you are listening, Connor is still beating you on penalties. You are 1 second behind. You need to beat his tally. Come on. And I intentionally haven't called him a certain name as of yet in the stream, but TGL Rodney, or Uplonka, as he is known in the chats. This is why I call him a Plonka, because he's in such a great position, but he is going to potentially move out of the points. Depending on how penalties go and how drivers can catch up, he may well be out of the points come the last lap of the race. It's not what he wants, but it's what happens. So TGL Rodney driving for Alpine with his teammate Kavolis. So there are massive gaps everywhere except for right here. fighting for the second step on the podium are Benny and Theo, and they are losing time to Grelis behind. Over the last 2 laps, he has closed up half a second per lap. So if Grelis can catch up to the back of these two, it would be one hell of a fight for the podium at this stage. As Mars Ranger has dropped 10 seconds to the back of Grelis. That's unfortunate for the McLaren man. He put in such a good stint last week in Australia to put himself on the podium. Oh, I forgot to mention last week, this season, to honour the new team coming into F1 in real life and in the DLC that will be coming out later this year for F1 25, our reserves are no longer gaining constructors points for the reserve team. They are gaining points for the Cadillac team. So you will see on the driver's standings going forward a little Cadillac symbol next to the reserves names. So that's how you will be able to differentiate them. And Stewart has gone round. That's not an ideal place to have spun. But he will definitely be out of the points now. And did I just see Grelis get a time penalty? I did. Grelis has got himself a 3-second time penalty. So that puts him out of contention for the podium as it sits right now. Now I'm wondering, is Theo just biding his time and waiting for the final lap to pass Benny and get that second place? Benny will have to be wise to it and harvest as much battery as possible for the DRS zones like this one here and the last one on the last 2 on the lap, sorry, so that he can burn the battery and stay ahead. Now you can see on the wheel there, Theo has roughly 80%, and Theo's gone for it now. I wonder if he's going to go for a 3. Oh, and Stewart has hit turn 4 by the look of it. He went into the pits to fix his wing, and he ended up in turn 4. I will be asking the drivers in the Division 1 chat to put in their clips of the incidents. Oh my word, that is NLD Rush facing backwards. He is in, he's got a decent gap now. Spin it round, NL. There you go. Go for it. That was a scary thing to see. Just a bright neon car facing the wrong way around a corner that's usually relatively tight. It's not what you want to see. It's one hell of a jump scare to come around a corner and find a car where there shouldn't be. So let's have a look at the penalty situation. Grelis and Mars Ranger both on 3 seconds, along with NLD Rush also on 3 seconds, Magic Poop Cannon on 6, and Havoc Connor on 16. Of course, one of those is the 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So, TGL Plonker has left the session after his DNFing in turn 4. It's this wall on the inside here, I believe he has clipped. Gone careening into the wall. It's my least favourite corner, apart from turn 16, which is after the long loop. The right-hander of the chicane, where you can also take the wheel off on the wall as well. I will show you once we get there. So we'll ride on board. There's the wall that juts out here, and then this corner here, take your wheel off without you realising too much, and cause you all kinds of problems in qualifying and in the race. But that and turn 4 are the most treacherous corners around this circuit. Now, we are on the final lap. We will go on board with Sportmad as he comes round the final corner. And Poop Cannon has gone straight on at the loop and DNF'd on the final lap. That was a silly thing to do, wasn't it? And Sportmad slams it into the wall to finish his race. And Benny is ahead of Theo. Oh, and they hit Sportmad for good measure. So there we go. Sportmad, Benny, Theo. That is your podium. Followed by Grullis. And we've got Masked Ranger. 12.5 seconds behind. Kavolis will get P6. Bogorovsky up in P7. He'll be pretty pleased about that. Magic Poop Cannon has come into the chat, and it was a puncture, apparently. He ran too long on the mediums and went straight on because of it. So Barry Bogorovsky gets P7, Moncho P8. Rika or Rika, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, gets P9. And Havoc Connor will be pleased to be getting a point out of this race, as he has not had the best night out here. D-Rush will get 12th because he had not passed the point of Poop Cannon by the time he passed the checkered flag. So it seems D-Rush was a lap down. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for the second round of Season 15 of DTR in Division 1. Sportmad taking the bow for a very understated win. He stayed out of trouble, got himself out ahead, created a gap. Just a systematic drive for Sportmad. But well done to Benny and Theo, both being on the podium this evening as well. Well done to all of the drivers who finished. Not to you, Poop Cannon, because, well, you run your mediums into the ground and they punished you for it. So there you have it. There is your race winner, Sportmad. Fastest lap driver of the day and most overtakes goes to Grellis, going from 15th to 4th. Cleanest driver, I believe, for the second time in a row is Kavolis. I believe Kavolis was cleanest driver last week as well. So there we go. Pole to first, Sportmad. Benny making up positions to get second. Theo down a position to third. Grellis from 15th up to 4th, even with a 3-second time penalty. Masked Ranger down 2 positions to 5th. So I just wish to thank you all for being here this evening and watching. Thank you to the drivers for a great race. I will be back again with Division 1, same time next week, 8 PM GMT on a Wednesday evening. Tomorrow night, we will be graced again by Nellboy in the comms booth for Division 2, 8 p.m. GMT. I hope to see you there in the chat. And yeah, thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good night.